Having a vision for the future is one of the best ways to generate dopamine for the brain in the brain. So if you're somebody who has ADHD, has a hard time sticking to a budget, sticking to a plan, like, one of the problems is that we need to make sure that what we're doing is as rewarding as possible. And when I say rewarding, I mean that the anticipated result from the brain's perspective is going to be something worthwhile. And the only way to like you can't trick your brain. You're not tricking your brain. The only way to get your brain to cooperate with you is you have to first have a vision. And a lot of people have been saying, like, I don't know what that my vision is, like, how do you do that? And so I'm going to explain how to do that, and I'm going to explain the neuroscience behind that. So you already have clues right now what your vision is meant to be. I believe our vision is given to us. That's my spiritual belief. That is not a neuroscience belief. But I believe our vision is given to us. And the clues we are left are like the things that we pay attention to. So things that piss you off, things that excite you, things that just grab your attention in general. And it almost becomes like water that we swim in. Like, we don't know that we're paying attention to something until we realize like what we're not paying attention to. So I'll give you an example. I was at a dinner once, and it was at someone's house. The door was open. Somebody had their young child with them, and so there was a baby gate at the door. And when the parents put the baby gate down, somebody at the table noticed the design of the baby gate and was like, wow, that's like a really well designed, like, he was talking about the like structure of it. He was a structural engineer, and nobody in the room is paying attention to the baby gate. Nobody could give a fuck, right? But that was their thing. And this is, I think, a gift I have, is I can tell right away what someone's interested in, and I can like tweeze it out of them. And so, then I started asking questions about engineering and things, why that was so interesting to him, and he explained the structure, and I thought that was so cool. Like, that it's just, I think it's cool what we pay attention to and what we're interested in. And so for you have whatever version of that is for you. Maybe you can't help but notice the homeless people or animals on the street, or maybe there's like a political thing that you care about, or water quality, or whatever your thing is. I don't know what thing it is that you care about. That's where your vision exists. Your vision exists in there. And so take the thing that you pay attention to and that you care about, and create your vision from that place. You want to see it in your mind's eye. You want to hear it. You want to smell it. You want to taste it. You want to touch it. You want to literally visualize all of these things. Why? Here's the neuroscience behind it. A part of our brain called the hippocampus is often associated with like memory. And memory is a complex thing, is very fascinating, but it's not like file cabinets in a brain. Memory is basically like tapping on different parts of our brain, our occipital cortex, our temporal lobe, like, it's all smell, taste, touch, like all those, somatosensory cortex, like all those places, temporal lobe, I think I already said that. I'm tired. It basically tugs on all of those parts of the brain, and it reconstructs the memory. Every time we go to retrieve it, it reconstructs it. And so when we're visualizing the future, it's basically going through the same process of reconstructing a memory, even though it hasn't happened yet. We're taking parts of our past that are relevant to create the new future, which we can go into in another video of, like, this is why it's so hard to break out of a poverty mindset or scarcity mindset, because if all you're used to is like poverty and fear and stress, you don't have a lot to pull from to create a vision of a bigger, better future. So that's why, like, creating a vision can be probably hard for people, is because it's like, I don't have a lot of past references to pull on, which is fixable, but that's a different video. Point being here is that when you set the hippocampus off first, it goes down a series of, brain firing events that eventually lead to dopamine production and the prefrontal cortex to be turned online. Your prefrontal cortex is in charge of impulse control, emotional regulation, planning for the future, and complex decision making. All the things that you need for sticking to boring things, sticking to a plan, habits, budgeting, all the things. So you won't have to force yourself to do anything boring. Your brain will just naturally start to pay attention to it and find it as an important worth paying attention to and rewarding. And that's why it's so important to have a vision in order to achieve goals.